We're with Demon football coach Jay Thomas. It's game week. It's the start of Southland Conference play. Northwestern going to a place that you know very well, Thibodaux, Louisiana, to play the Nichols Colonels. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's talk about how the open date helped your team and how early you started preparations for Nichols.
Well, I'll tell you what, we had a lot of things going on with the staff, but it's been a busy open date week. We did get a jump ahead on Nichols. We started that Monday. We treated it like a typical game this past week. So it's been really busy. We've been getting coaches out on the road last week, and we had really good practices. Really focused on trying to get some guys well, and then of course developing our backups a little bit more. We continued with that process, so that was good, and really focused on our kicking game a lot. And we had some fun with our kickers and our holders after practice, and it's kind of like shooting free throws at the end of practice in basketball, and when you're tired and you got to make so many in a row, so we've done those. We stayed quite a while, a few days out there last week, kicking field goals, but it's getting better.
Well, field goals are what these games can come down to in conference play. A lot of close games. It appears this is going to be one of the most competitive conference seasons ever, and one of the stronger conference seasons ever based on what the teams have done in pre-conference play. How do you see the Southland Conference race?
Well, that's certainly how we see it. It's going to be very competitive, going to be tough top from bottom. It's always been that way. This year it seems like it's, really exceptional in that way. But, you just can't take anybody for granted in our conference, and you got to prepare to play, and, you got to bring your best game every week, and you got to make sure that, as a coaching staff, that you turn over every rock on every team and spend every minute wisely preparing. And, our guys got to be the same way as we go. And it's going to be a 7-week stretch that's it's going to be a grind. But I think our guys are up for the task. Looking forward to seeing them play. Looking forward to getting back into the league and, going at it once again. I took a year break, so looking forward to it.
This Nichols team presents some different challenges for any opponent. They've got a dynamic quarterback in Figueroa, and certainly they've done some good things in pre-conference play. Talk about what the Demons are going to face on Saturday in Thibodaux.
Well, I tell you, watching them, against Oregon, they really competed well against Oregon, and that's a tough get, no matter how you look at it. I think they found out some things about their team in that game, about their quarterback situation, and unfortunately, the kid that transferred from Tulsa, that's there, Henderson, has a broke leg. Don't know, he's 4 to 6 weeks, but we don't know if we're going to get to see him or not. But they've bounced around some quarterbacks with Hebert and Figueroa, and you're getting to see both of those guys in the course of the game anyway. But Figueroa really had a breakout game in the Arkansas Tech game. I think he rushed for over 200 plus yards. So he's certainly a guy that it gives him a dual threat. He can throw the football, he can run. He's very accurate on the move when he's scrambling, throwing the football. So, it's going to be a huge task for our defense just to contain him. And then they have a really solid running game with Marcus Washington, running back. We're all very familiar of what he can do to you. He can catch the ball out of the backfield as well. You see that their talented receiver is really improved, so they can stretch the field on you. They run some option-type plays with the quarterback, a lot of quarterback runs. So our defense we're going to have our hands full, and we're just going to have to. I don't know if we stop it. We're just going to have to slow it down, enough, and create some exchanges with the ball so we can give our offense an opportunity to get on the field, and then facing Nichols defense. One of my former players and coaches, he's the defense coordinator there. He does a great job. I know what kind of coach he is. Jeremy Atwell, he does a fantastic job. He gets every ounce out of those guys, and playing true Nichols fashion, they run and fly to the ball, play very hard, very aggressive. Got a lot of talented guys. So, Again, our offense, this is just going to be a typical Southland game, and it ought to be a lot of fun.
Now, before we get to your personal involvement and that angle, you do have very good knowledge, having been on both sidelines in this game. It's an in-state rivalry, and the rivalry in the best sense of the word.
Yes, it is, and we kind of had to get it created a little bit down at Nichols when we were first there. We'd come up and play Northwestern, and it was not pretty. We couldn't manage to get a win, and we wanted our program at that time when we were at Nichols to emulate Northwestern State, and it took us a while to get there. But we found the student government trophy back in a closet one evening cleaning stuff out, and it had NSU on it and all these scores, and he said, you know what, maybe this is what our guys needed, a little something extra to play for. We cleaned it up and had all the scores redone, added the new ones I added on, and went out and said, hey fellas, look, we're playing for a trophy here, and it's called the Real NSU Trophy. So yes, I've been on that side. We created this trophy. It's very special to me. I know this trophy is because I know the history of how we found it and got it going again. And then it's been very special on the fact that I've been here, and we won it 3 years ago. We got it back for the first time. We beat Nichols 34-0. And then, of course, being able to hang on to it again last year. So it's really turned into a neat rivalry between the two universities. It is in-state. There's a lot of other issues you're involved with here, recruiting-wise, state pride-wise, and then, of course, on top of that, it's a conference game.
All right, now let's turn the page to the 400-pound gorilla in the room, Jay Thomas. 14 years at Nichols, 6 as head coach. Now you're the Demon head coach. There's going to be a lot of interest in the game just for that reason alone.
Yeah, but, it is. But, I want to downplay that a little bit as much as I can. But, yes, 14 years is a long time to be at one place. I have a lot of great friends, a lot of fond memories of being there. We got our kids were born there in Thibodaux. It came home to us. We spent so many years there. So I will be looking forward to going back and getting to see everybody, but it is a business trip, and that's the way I look at it, and I can separate the two. I can always go down there and go fishing in the spring, so and see everybody. It's not that far away. But no, it's not. I have a job to do here, and I love it here at Northwestern State, and everybody's been so great to me and my family here. And I really love working with the team, the guys we have on this team. Looking back on the Nichols years, when we say fond memories, a lot of things that to be proud of. We won a conference championship there in 2005. We brought the program through 5 hurricanes, and 4 of them were major hurricanes during that time. Brought it through 4 years of probation, the program. We stabilized everything. That was with loss of scholarships and initials, how many you could sign. It was just about everything you could possibly get. So, from fundraising all the way through, I'm very proud of a lot of the efforts. And it wasn't just me; it was a lot of great coaches we had that come and gone through that time, and they're out coaching at other universities, at Florida State's in the Middle Tennessee. So we had some really good coaches there. Coach Boone, who's on our staff here, he was part of that during that time, during the process. So, and then of course you go back and all the players that came through that really helped stabilize it. And when you go through a year where you don't have 20 players and 2 coaches, and you end up 5-5 throughout that year, it's one of the years I was really, really proud of. Besides winning the conference championship there. But yes, I am deep rooted down here, and I look forward to the challenge. Look forward to going back, and here's the thing, man. I look at it. This is home for me here in Natchitoches, and I love it here. We've had a pleasant experience in the 2 years that we were here previously, and then being able to come back. It's nothing like Northwestern State. Now, I know where the real NSU goes, all right? We just need the real NSU to show up Saturday.
All right, speaking of showing up Saturday, fortunately, a lot of your friends from those Nichols days will have game tickets already.
Yeah.
But if they didn't, how many tickets do you think you'd have to come up for Saturday?
I'm telling you, it's been crazy already. I've got, I don't know, 50 plus phone calls, you know, just in the last week's time, and, you know, sideline passes. I don't know if I can come up with enough sideline passes, but and look, and it's split. You know, it's you know, some of them still really love Nichols, but you know, we're great friends, and a lot of them they're gonna bite the bullet. They're gonna wear purple and orange and white, you know, and be on our sideline. So it ought to be a lot of fun. It ought to be interesting. Hopefully, no one to get their feelings hurt along the way, but I think it's going to be neat to see, you know, with all their guys coming in, and you know, we got a group of guys down there that helped me a ton in fundraising. They're going to cook for our team after the game. That's going to be neat, and a bunch of South Louisiana type food. So hopefully our players will get a chance to enjoy that a little bit, and. So it's really you know, I know the build-up's going to be about some other things, but still the bottom line is we got a game we got to go play. It's going to be it's never easy when you go to Thibodaux to play. I knew that when I was a coach down there. You know, I started prepping the team some this week, understanding what it might be, understanding it may be very humid and we may get rain in the middle of the game, and you know, you just don't ever know exactly what you're going to get there. But what you do know you're going to get a team that, an opponent that's 3-2, first time they've been in that situation in 4 years or 5 years, and they're going to be excited about playing the game. We're 3-2, and you know, we're hot as well, and so it ought to make an interesting matchup and a good TV game.
They played Langston, you played Langston. How much does that help either side in preparing for this game?
Well, I think what you look at is you compare notes, and from their game and our game. And of course, we learned a lot. They played first, and then we played Langston second. So we learned a lot from watching them play Langston. So it's very equal as far as you look at things. You know, now we were able to shut and hold Langston down to 0 points, and then Langston managed to score 22 points on Nichols. But other than that, they outscored Langston, scored more points than we did. Now, we left a lot of points out on the field, missing 4 field goals and a couple of drop passes that could have been touchdowns. So it very easily we could have been up to close to 55, 60 points in the game. But I think you got to throw all that out the window, because it's going to be played with a lot of desire. There's going to be guys playing out there with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. I think it's going to end up being both ways. I think it's going to be very heated, and I think the team that can stay disciplined throughout this process, and we have to overcome going down there playing in that type of environment, will be the team that's going to have the most success.
With safety Burt White of the Demon football team, after an open date, Northwestern begins conference play this Saturday against the Nichols Colonels down in Thibodaux. It's not only coming off an open date. Right now the university is in fall break. No classes Monday and Tuesday, Burt. How does that change the preparation? Does it benefit you guys a little bit? What's the effect of fall break for you guys?
Well, I think it will benefit us all by giving us a break from actual school and just focusing more on actual football, like things preparing for Nichols.
Now, as an upperclassman, are you and your older teammates telling the younger guys, hey, use this as an opportunity not only to rest up physically, but also to be sure that you're caught up with your schoolwork, because from here on out, you've got 7 straight games and hopefully some postseason.
We've been actually getting on to them guys and informing them about how to treat and how to approach this fall break. So yeah, we have.
All right, you defensively, last week you guys pitched a shutout in the last game, that is, against Langston. You are rounding into form after having to delay the start of your season due to the little knee injury you had early in preseason camp. Talk about where you are in your development and where our defense is in its development.
Well, I would say both of us as an individual and as a defense, we're just starting to come to our peak. You know, coming out the preseason, coming into the conference, I think we're just coming to our peak to reach our optimal level.
Okay, you referenced it is coming into conference play. On the broad scale, I know you guys look at the scores and take notice of what teams have done, and there have been some very impressive wins for Southland Conference teams in pre-conference. The conference schedule actually started this past weekend with UCA and McNeese squaring off, and now it hits full gear this week. Talk about what you expect around the conference in this conference race.
Well, I expect it's going to be a battle through the whole conference because everybody in our conference, I compare us to like the SEC. You know, every Saturday you got to be ready to come with it. You know, there's no push arounds, no shove overs or anything. You got to be ready to play every Saturday.
All right, this Saturday it's Northwestern against Nichols. There's no shortage of storylines here. It's the conference opener for both teams. It's a TV game on the Southland Network. It's an in-state rivalry. It's close to home for you, Thibodaux right down the road from Baton Rouge. And it's a homecoming for Coach Jay Thomas, who spent 14 years at Nichols as an assistant coach for 8 years and then the head coach for 6 years. So how does all that fold into the intensity level for Saturday afternoon in Thibodaux?
Well, it's a great energy booster. It's a great, thing to get us extra focus, put in extra work during the week in practice, things like that, knowing that, Coach Jay Thomas actually coached there. It's a big rivalry for him, coming back to Thibodaux. So it gives you just that extra push you want to win,
All right, and it's a Nichols team that's much improved. They've done some good things in pre-conference. They've got an FBS win. Talk about what you expect to see Saturday afternoon from the Colonels.
Well, I expect to see a great battle, especially from their offense. They have a great quarterback, have a great receiver core, tight ends, all around they're great, both offensive, defensive. So I'm looking for a battle Saturday.
All right, and for you personally, it is close to home in Baton Rouge, and I'm sure there'll be more than the average number of folks in the stands.
All right.
That'll be fun. Talk about the emotions of that opportunity.
Well, just to see my family in the crowd is just an extra emotion booster, and you just want to go out there and just play for your family, especially that being that close to home is just like, you just feel home, welcome, Yeah.
All right, the last question would be, how do you see this game playing out in terms, is it going to be a shootout? Nichols has scored a lot of points in his last few games. The Demons offense certainly has, but you guys just pitched a shutout. So what's up with that? And you also have the Langston comparison. Their win was 42-22, ours was 37-0. So what should we expect Saturday?
I mean, I always expect the best out of someone, out of our opponent. I never, disown or kind of, come awkward at any opponent. So I approach every opponent the same way. So I expect the best from them. I would just say I expect the best. But they will expect and need to expect our best. So, yeah.
Very good, Burt White. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
We're with senior tackle Chisholm player. They call you T-Dre, and starting offensive lineman, a guy who's been an anchor for the Demons offense. It's been very productive so far this year. Northwestern coming off that open date, getting ready for the conference opener Saturday in Thibodaux against the Nichols Colonels. T-Dre, let's talk about the offense first and foremost. You guys have put up some points, produced some yards. All in all, it's been a pretty good start for the new Demon offense. How do you assess where you guys are right now?
Well, we're just trying to iron out every kink that we can every week. The motto is always to improve in every area possible, both individually and as a position, as an O-line, as a wideout, as a quarterback. No matter what the position, we're always trying to improve. And that's just kind of where we are right now.
All right, you're coming off an open date. You're going into fall break, which is 2 days without classes. All that seems to indicate an opportunity to really rest and recover and be as fresh as you guys possibly can be going into the conference opener. Is that right?
Yes, sir. It's a great time to really have a shift of focus to football, extra time to watch film, extra time to kind of think about the opponent, how they're going to react, because Nichols is also on an open date as well, so we have to take that in mind. But you always have academics that you have to cover even with the open date and to kind of get ahead on, because after this open date, it's going to be nothing but great opponents. So we try, to knuckle down on getting film watched and getting ready for this opponent.
Let's talk about the Southland Conference as a whole. A lot of impressive wins and performances in pre-conference play. Now, the rest of the way, it's conference action. Sam Houston has been in 2 straight national championship games and certainly has done some impressive things, but it doesn't look like a one-horse race. So we've already seen a lot of teams show some capabilities this year. What do you see in the conference race?
Well, this conference, Burt White mentioned, is kind of like the SEC, and I think we view it in the same manner. Every opponent, every year, might surprise you, might come out and do great things, and everyone in this conference has that potential. So, every week you have to prepare to the utmost importance and especially great attention to detail. You can't take any opponent in this conference lightly, and so we're just going into this game with the utmost attention to detail, and we're just going to treat it like any game on the conference, but we're having that confidence up there as well.
Nichols is a team that obviously you've played every year of your career. What do you anticipate from the Colonels on Saturday afternoon?
They're going to come out with their best shot. It's their first conference game as well, and we've seen the things that they put up pre-conference. So we expect their great attention to detail as well and performance out on the field. But we're also going to go out there with the same attention to detail and performance.
No shortage of storylines for this game. Conference opener, television game on Southland TV. Coach Jay Thomas returning to where he coached for 14 years, was head coach for 6 years. That's just some of the storylines. Talk about the motivational aspects of this football game.
Well, there's definitely a great amount of hype around this game, being it on TV and the battle for the trophy of who's the real NSU. So that, there's a great amount of hype. I can say that we're really excited to play against Nichols. It's also something that goes personal with Coach Jay Thomas, and so he's going to be pumped for the game. He's going to get us pumped. And the only thing we can do this week is take it one day at a time and improve what we can, and just go out there and open up on Saturday.
All right. Thank you, T. Dre.
Thank you.